Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Ich sage nur diese ersten Sätze auf Deutsch, weil ich ausdrücklich die Freunde und Mitglieder der Deutschen Akademie für Sprache und Dichtung begrüßen möchte. These are the only sentences that I will speak in German tonight. I beg the English-speaking audience for pardon for doing this, because we have so many guests and friends of the German Academy of Language and Literature here. Für uns ist das die letzte Veranstaltung einer an Veranstaltungen, weiß Gott nicht, armen Tagung. Und es ist die Veranstaltung, auf die ich mich eigentlich die ganze Zeit gefreut habe. Yeah, we start with Simon Armitage, and it's up to you to introduce this wonderful, famous poet.
Well, who needs very little introduction, but just briefly. Born in West Yorkshire, where he still lives, Simon Armitage is Professor of Poetry at the University of Sheffield. He's won far too many awards for me to give a full list of them, but they include the Forward Prize, the Keats Shelley Prize, and last year he won a Cholmondeley Award, which is an award given by poets to poets, so that's a particularly fine one. And I think he may be the only one of our speakers this evening who's won a BAFTA. His poems are studied at GCSE by children all over this country. And as well as poetry, he's written novels, plays, films for television, and a libretto. As one reviewer wrote, by balancing humour and gravitas, he generates great affection in his readers. If he's not very careful, Simon Armitage will end up becoming a national treasure.
May I ask the national treasure to come up on stage?
Thank you very much. The christening. I am a sperm whale. I carry up to 2.5 tons of an oil-like balm in my huge coffin-shaped head. I have a brain the size of a basketball, and on that basis alone am entitled to my opinions. I am a sperm whale. When I breathe in, the fluid in my head cools to a dense wax, and I nosedive into the depths. My song, available on audio cassette and compact disc, is a comfort to divorcees, astrologists, and those who have pitched the quavering canvas tent of their thoughts on the rim of the dark crater. The oil in my head is of huge commercial value and has been used by NASA, for even in the galactic emptiness of deep space, it does not freeze. I am attracted to the policies of the Green Party on paper, but once inside the voting booth, my hand is guided by an unseen force. Sometimes I vomit large chunks of ambergris. My brother, Jeff, owns a camping and outdoor clothing shop in the Lake District and is a recreational user of cannabis. Customers who bought books about me also bought Do Whales Have Belly Buttons by Melvin Berger and Street Maps of Cardiff. In many ways, I have seen it all. I keep no pets. Lying motionless on the surface, I am said to be logging and lobtailing when I turn and offer my great slow fluke to the horizon. Don't be taken in by the dolphins and their winning smiles. They are the pickpockets of the ocean, the gypsy children of the open waters, and they are laughing all the way to Atlantis. On the basis of finders keepers, I believe the Elgin marble should remain the property of the British Crown. I am my own God. Why shouldn't I be? The first people to open me up thought my head was full of sperm, but they were men and had lived without women for many weeks and were far from home. Stuff comes blurting out. This is a poem called An Accommodation. And I both agreed that something had to change, but I was still stunned and not a little hurt when I staggered home one evening to find she'd draped a net curtain slap bang down the middle of our home. She said, "I'm over here and you're over there, and from now on that's how it's going to be." It was a small house, not much more than a single room, which made for one or two practical problems, like the fridge was on my side and the oven was on hers, and she had the bed while I slept fully clothed in the inflatable chair. Also, there was a Husker Du CD on her half of the border, which I wouldn't have minded hearing again for old time's sake, and her winter coat stayed hanging on the door in my domain. But the net was the net, and we didn't so much as pass a single word through its sacred veil, let alone send a hand crawling beneath it or, God forbid, yank it aside and go marching across the line. Some nights she'd bring men back, deadbeats, incompatible, not fit to kiss the heel of her shoe. But it couldn't have been easy for her either, watching me mooch about like a ghost, see me crashing around in the empty bottles and cans. And there were good times too, sitting side by side on the old settee, the curtain between us, the TV in her sector but angled towards me, taking me into account. Over the years the moths moved in, got a taste for the net, so it came to resemble a giant web, like a thing made of actual holes strung together by fine, nervous threads. But there it remained, and remains to this day, this tattered shroud, this ravaged lace suspended between our lives, keeping us inseparable and betrothed. Thank you very much.